what the scene is.
Are you here part-time?
I'm Ani Allah Hadasha since September.
Wow, Mazal Tov.
Well, I'm going back and forth because I left my whole family there.
Where are you
Both
from?
behind me and in front of me. My kids are
Where are they?
Philadelphia.
I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm here for 4 months. We did not yet make Aliyah, so we should talk. Yeah, I should talk to you.
Are you here part-time?
And that's me talking. So how do we do that?
We have a volunteer.
Yeah, you need paper. You need a notebook. Yeah, everybody's gonna need a note. Yeah, I don't want to hear myself.
I think you ended the Zoom.
Oh, did I? No, the Zoom's there.
No, this is a recording.
Oh,
Now it's on YouTube. Where's Zoom?
your Zoom.
You need something to write with?
I didn't end it. You went to
You click this.
click
Okay,
YouTube.
so just don't click anything. It's recording right
It
now.
is recording, but
Yeah, if you want
I'm gonna
video.
need to see participants. I'm the only one. So,
Yeah,
okay.
that's all. You're the only one.
But
Right
there
now.
might be somebody else, right?
Dave, so
Glad you're here.
you-
Oh, thank God.
Are you
Oh,
just-
turn the video on. Yeah.
Okay. So when they come up, it'll ask you for permission to let them in,
Okay.
and then you just,
Where will it say that?
I don't know, it should pop up.
Okay.
And oftentimes, I don't
It
know.
should pop up. Someone's trying to join. and-
Say it net or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. You'll help me. Thank you.
That must be the what's it called?
So Miriam, Shifra, Karen, Judith, Rifki.
What's the lineal here?
Good.
I think so.
Just see who else. I think Hannah is who we're expecting, right? At least in person. Let me just check. We need paper and pen. We actually need journals as well. I wrote it on the thing, but next time
Want a pen?
you can use your.
Isn't there some?
Okay, I don't think so.
No, okay, so I'm gonna give him paper. I have. Oh, you have something. Okay.
You have paper? I need paper.
Yeah.
You'll need a few pieces. We're
Yeah.
not-
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
We'll
bring
give you
it
as
up.
we go.
Alright.
Okay, we have Shifra.
Any back with
There's somebody named Goldie. Oh, I think she's in England. So Goldie. Goldie M.
We have Goldie with,
Yeah, she
Goldie.
comes to the voice class from England.
Oh, very nice. I think she needed to do the recording today. So the only one that I'm expecting is Hannah Katova. Is that how you say her name? Katova?
I don't know if that's what it is, but Hannah Tova.
Yeah. And I know her because she
Katova.
did the other class I did. Yeah, improv. So I've met her. So hello, everybody. I think we're recording. We are recording. And Golda and my sister Debbie is taking from New York afterward. And I guess Hannah will get the beginning of it. But welcome. Thank you for braving this creating Geula class. How could you not come? You're getting to create Geula, right? This is a class in creative process and in building your creativity, your creative process, and finding the way to deeper expression. I don't know your background, so I'm really going to have to start with you, kind of what you think this class is and what you're hoping to get from it, and then we'll go from there. I think that's like the best way to start. So why don't we go around? Miriam, do you mind starting? Would that be okay?
But I'm hoping. So, I mean, my understanding is that in order, like, to do my piece of my own personal Geula will help bring the Geula. So I'm here to be inspired to and discover what that piece is for myself,
Mhm.
so that I can then
Wonderful.
create that and then help that become part of the larger Geula.
Beautiful. So do you have an art form or art forms that you usually work with, or is this something new for you?
I mean, I've played around watercolors.
Mm.
And I like crafting, but
Mhm.
that's really what I I'm
Great.
cooking.
Okay, well, maybe we'll have some good meals out of this. Wonderful. Shefra?
I'm sorry, just this is about my son.
Okay, we'll come back
One
to
second.
you.
No, I'm good. I
Okay.
just
Okay.
My husband let me know when my son falls asleep. It's stressing me out. My art form, I'm from Jerusalem. My art form is writing. I write. Visual art, I've always been intimidated by because it just ends up looking bad to me. But I'm a writer. I recently went on a retreat that was like one of these like healing retreats, and it was like wow, like it was really life changing. And I was starting to do this. The last thing we said was like what we feel like like what we relate to or whatever. And it was one of the things was a flower, and so I felt like I was in bloom. I guess I was starting my blooming process because I'm now with little kids, and
Right.
for a while as
Hi.
people know.
What's your name? Hi, Tamara. I'm Amy. Nice to meet you.
So for a while I was trapped with becoming a wife and having kids and being stuck in motherhood and not really knowing who I am. So I guess this is a continuation of that process.
And creatively, are you looking for something to happen in that way?
So yeah, I mean I want to just like pick up from that energy that I had. We did some art there also, but and like push myself to keep going with something that I feel passionate about, which it is my writing.
What kind of writing do you do?
Poetry, short stories, stuff, music. I don't sound good singing, but
Right.
I like to write. Yeah, I like to write. I actually did write a song and I put it through AI, like make a song for me. It sounds really nice. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Lovely. Great. Hi, Carrie.
I don't know exactly what to expect for from the class. I love reading it though, reading the description because I love Torah and studying. I'm learning Torah for probably 30 years. And it's not like anything my friends do. I mean, in the United States, I know nobody like this. And I also love art. I paint, music, singing.
You came in announcing you weren't creative. I'm so baffled, Karen.
Not that I'm not creative, but that I don't know what the scene is here in Jerusalem. And I've never created anything like putting them together. So I think I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's really what we're doing. So I'm glad you have some great tools and excitement. And we'll see what we do. We don't know yet. Tamara, the question was, what are you expecting something from this class, or what are you hoping that will come from it for you?
Well, first of all, I did this kind of when I read about it, I like the idea, the opportunity. I love Chassidus, and I want to live art overnight. So I just thought that's an opportunity. And I don't get I used to come Wednesdays, but I work in the morning. So that's good. I know it's not the same exact how Yeshiva does, but I'm sure there's like some
That's all. That connection.
And then I like that you put at the end that we're working towards a process to produce something. So hopefully I'll be able to connect and
So what art forms do you enjoy?
Art forms I enjoy. I love to write. As from the age 15, I've been writing journals, but I haven't really. And I think I've written and I've thought to write, but more in the sense of watercolors and all kinds of I do a lot of. I work in art, but not. I do all types of art in all different media.
So do you have a hope of what'll come out, or? Or you open?
I'm open. I guess I kind of want to feel the process what's going to be, and then according, I did bring watercolors and some stuff to it, so, but I wasn't sure. It didn't say, like, I looked together, I was like, did it say we're supposed to bring something?
So I don't think you're part of our WhatsApp, but I'll add you to it.
I wrote to like Momish, like when you first put it out, I said, I want to join, and I wrote it like it was like when you first put it out, and I said, but like it just didn't. It somehow it didn't work for me to put my name.
I'm glad you joined. We'll figure it out and we'll add you to the WhatsApp. So what I wrote in the WhatsApp before we continue is I asked, and obviously do it for next time, is to bring a notebook just to write your notes down and any ideas that come to you, and then to bring a journal. And again, we could talk about it right now, but this is a really small one. I've been traveling, but it could be thicker, but not a big notebook. When you're journaling, you want something a little smaller. This is very small, but something in the middle. What? Yeah. Oh, well, we're Landsman. Great, great. So yes, to bring the notebook, pen, obviously, a journal. And for those of you who are visual and want to explore, some kind of paper to draw on if you so wish. Honestly, we could explore in other ways. Judy is fully willing to push back the tables and move around. So we could do that too. I just can't do that with people on Zoom, but we'll see where it takes us. Today, we're talking about opening up. So I don't think we need to do it physically yet. So you did.
Yeah. So what attracted me was I'm a lapsed photographer, and photography is my passion. And I used to have a dark room and an old camera, and I've taken lots of classes in community college. And and I would like to as I said, I'm lapsed, and I'd like to continue taking pictures, and I'm very attracted in Yerushalayim to all the people who are davening. So I take pictures when they're not looking, of people davening. It's so holy. So
it doesn't sound like you're so lapsed if you're taking pictures.
No, I take it in
your mind. This is going to make you take. Lapse means you stop doing it.
Yeah.
So, and one of the reasons I stopped doing it is because I had my little camera in my handbag, but now it's the telephone. So I'm not used to it, but I think I could get beautiful shots with the camera. I don't think I'm up to going back to the little camera. Because I don't have a viewfinder anymore.
I do have somebody I can get information for you from my school, who's our filmmaking and / photography teacher. And she teaches the girls on their phones. So there's all kinds of things that you can use.
I just want the image. It doesn't have to be so technically.
Yeah.
So
what are you hoping for this class?
To finish an assignment.
Yeah. The question is it an assignment?
Well,
a project.
Something that I will see realized.
Right.
Piece of work, piece of art.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Hi, I'm here basically because Judy said I should come.
Okay.
It's a very
Thank you for
strong
making
recommendation.
Rifki come, because really we're landsmen too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we found out today that we have the same birth date.
Oh, wow.
Oh, crazy.
What's the birth date?
Yudalev Tishrei.
We'll celebrate you together.
Yeah.
I have been coming to these classes, so I knew that it was going to be special. And I have a really interesting creative side, but I've never had the time to explore it. So it was always like our crafts project or whatever the kids would, it was in between work and kids. So I'm excited to explore that. Great. Peacefully. Without any interruption. What else can I tell you? That's it.
I think that's a good enough reason to do this process. And wherever anyone's at about this, whether you've been practicing your art or you're not sure what it is and you just want to express yourself, or you're lapsed, or whatever it might be, you want to bring Geula, right now, that these are all great reasons to be here. I'm going to go, before I go to Judy, I'm going to go to Fana. Fana, I asked the question, well, like, what do you, I don't know if so much expect, but think this class will be for you? And what are you hoping will come from it for you?
A different creative side which I exercise with regularly and misunderstanding and we won't have classes soon, but I would like to have a project to work on it. Doing.
Yes, you will. Wonderful. Anything, any arts in particular, or your arts?
Both spiritual and poetry.
Right. And those can go together too.
Yeah.
Very nice. Great. You're gonna try on lots of things here. And
Yeah,
Judy,
it's really, really nice.
what about you, Judy?
Well, creating or creativity has been in my mind for a while.
Really? You didn't notice.
Yeah. and but I feel I could express myself creatively, mostly with dance. But I'm supposed to be an artist, but anyway, yes, dance has been my love for a long time. So I would like to possibly choreograph something short. Something to do with my personal Geula.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm excited. And I told you when you work
Don't
on it.
expect anything.
I don't expect anything. I told you when you work on it, I'll come help or whatever
Okay.
you want.
Okay,
So
thank you.
we can do visitation in between. Okay, so thank you for sharing where you're starting at. I'll just give you a little bit of my background. I grew up in a modern Orthodox home in Woodmere, New York, where Rifki has lived. I don't know if you're from there, but originally, yeah, but I'm originally from there. I was always a creative kid, and there was not a lot in the modern Orthodox system, at least at the time I was growing up. And I went through Stern College. I was choosing between visual arts and theater, and I chose, and there was no theater major, but they shaped a major for me in theater. And so I picked the more difficult as a, Orthodox young woman, the more difficult thing, because if I was a fine artist, that would have worked just fine. That's why it's called fine, isn't it? Whereas theater isn't called fine. And ultimately, after college, I stopped being from for 4 or 5 years, and I was acting off Broadway. And I studied with some great people, learned a lot of stuff, and then became from again. So bringing it back. And I think that's partly what we're talking about today, not going off the derech. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when you think there's no possibility, when something seems closed to you, what do you do? As opposed to, is there possibility right from where you are? So I think that that's just a good thing for me to reveal now, to share that that's where I was at then. What? Your front door?
It's not closing time before.
Yeah, it's so good, so good.
That's pretty fine. I just want to make sure that it's not locked. It's not. Being brutal. It's good when I see like that.
Okay, so I went on this derech away and then came back and met my husband very soon after. So possibility was there in other forms, and he was Makarab through Chabad, and I had not really learned any kind of Chassidut before, and I started to learn. First things I read were Rav Kook, so it was not Chabad, but I was like, how do I live with Chassidut? So I figured, in the States, not here. So I figured Chabad, and we got married and we moved to Pittsburgh soon after. And it's very much a community of Baalei Tshuva, a lot of people who are in the arts or have lived other lives.
I was asking if you could check the waiting room because she's trying to log into the class.
I'm so sorry, because I am not We're still waiting. Sorry.
Maybe.
It's okay.
Yeah, there's 4 participants. There are people there. I'm so sorry. Because I've started talking already.
Do they not pop up for you?
I wasn't looking anymore. I was busy talking. I'm so present. I want to be present with you guys. So obviously I have to be present here.
Okay, come on.
Hi. So I have Chaya twice. Yeah.
Maybe she's recording. Sure.
Oh no, there's 2 different Chayas. There's 2 different Chayas. Hi.
Don't worry, I'll check it out and see what's going on.
Hi,
Please
Chaya.
stay on.
Oh, you're Chaya in the office. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got it. Hi,
all
nice
me.
And then there's another Chaya. No, is that
Don't
you?
worry.
That's you?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
figure out what's going on.
You look different in the picture. Sorry. Okay. So what's going on? Is somebody not getting in, or is just you not getting in? Yeah. So there's nobody online but Chaya from the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said that's her.
It is.
That's her.
Yes.
I thought it was someone else too. It's all her.
It's on 3 different spots.
That's her. I can see it up close now. That's her. Okay. All right, Chaya, should I just keep going? I don't know what's happening here, but I'm not sure if Chaya, are you a participant? Or are you checking for me from the office? I'm a little confused. I just want to check in on that. She's not answering me. Is she muted? Is there anybody on participating who is taking this class that's online right now? And if so, unmute
Amy, I'm
yourself.
here right now.
Yeah.
It's okay. Let's just leave it like that. I'm here for a few minutes. I want to check in on how things are going. I'm just a silent fly on the wall, so ignore
Okay.
me.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was trying to understand because it was 3 of you, and it says 3 participants, and it's all you. Okay, thank you. All right, so talking about what's possible, what's not possible, and so the world of learning Chassidus opened to me, and it's been very much the time of my marriage and kids has been more Chabad Chassidut, and at some point. When my youngest went into 1st grade or kindergarten, I started a seminary called Sohar Seminary for Chassidut and the Arts in Pittsburgh. And it's now in its 15th year. And I just left from being there daily because I want to be here more. So I'm bringing what I have there or have done there and with these young women and bringing it forward. So people said to me, "You're retiring? You're like letting go?" I said, "No, I'm moving forward." So it's not about retiring. It's about going forward and also bringing this to women and to other people. And, the students get it and they've been getting it for years and they grow a lot from this process. And actually the process that we're doing just in 6 weeks is really a part of their 1st semester. So they come in and they're studying Chassidus I'm going to call it Chassidus when it comes to them. They study Chassidus all morning and all afternoon. They study all of the arts. They get creative writing, playwriting and screenwriting, theater, improv, filmmaking, music, dance, art, all of it. Those who want all of it can take everything. Not everybody wants everything. And then they have a presentation at the end of their 1st semester that they start working toward it around Hanukkah. Before that, it's just overwhelming classes and getting all the craft of all these arts and also really kind of inhaling the Chassidus and becoming a part of them and part of their lives and seeing how it's so meaningful for them in their lives. And then we have them, and this process that we're starting today is what we do with them, which is a braid of 3 things, which we'll get to, of arts, of Chassidus, and of them. Who are they? And they really grow as young women, as Jewish women, as individuals, and as artists, they see themselves as artists for the first time. So, I mean, some of them are super talented, some of them are creative, some of them find new things that they never would have dared to do before, but they're all growing in the process. And of course, when you're 18, you know, you're away for the first time. It's exciting. It's very exciting. But why shouldn't we have that now? Why only they get it? They don't even appreciate it. You're going to appreciate it. So obviously we're doing this while we're busy, and we're going to, you know, have families with Purim and make Pesach and all of that. But we are creating Geula here together. And I'm excited to do this. This is my first time doing this process with women as opposed to 18-year-old girls. And I'm very, very excited to do this. I am on there. Okay, so just so somebody gets the recording later. So I'm going to call this process, for all intensive purposes, the Sohar process. Not only because the seminary is named Sohar, but because it's symbolic of a lot of things. And it's also not a word that's used a lot. I mean, where's it used here? It's like a kashrut. Yeah. What else? How else is it used in Israel? Sohar. Is it used much? I don't.
What does this mean?
So, well,
light,
it has
right?
covered. Well, no, that would be like a Zohar is a shining light. It's Sohar is a window or a skylight. So it comes from Parshat Noach. And in Parshat Noach, Hashem is telling Noach to build the Teva. And he says to Noach, and build a Sohar on the Teva. So it's after all these instructions. So it's so Rashi says either it's a window or a skylight. Or window or skylight to let the light in to this cramped, dark Teva. And I don't know how much light there was if it was storming, but there was light. Where else are they going to get it? Or if it wasn't a window or a skylight, that it was a precious stone that shone its light out. So I guess like some kind of shiny stone that brought out light in the Teva. So both of those work for us quite well. And why we named the seminary this, you know. So we use it as they're letting the light of creativity or the light of Chassidus both into themselves and their bodies and their lives. And then, like the precious jewel, they're shining their light out. So it's this coming in of light and shining out the light that we are going to work with today. And when we talk about, you know, creatives, we hear the word blocked a lot, right? Some of you might relate to that. Some of you might not even know what the heck that means. If you don't embrace it, because I'm letting it go today. And we're going to work past it. You know, saying that you're lapsed and you're coming back to something is already unblocking, you know, the wanting to is already. So it has too much power, that blocked word. But I'm going to give you a little more information about the Zohar. There's I think it was a previous Rebbe. There's several sichot, that are based on Sohar Ta'aseh LaTeva, which are the words from the Parsha, which is you should make for the Teva at Sohar. And what it says in the Sicha is that the Teva is like prayer. It's you're in this ark, you're in this space, and it symbolizes our trying to connect or where are we when we're praying? And what the Zohar is first, if you're going to make it a window, you have to cut it out first. So you have to unblock first. So that's the cutting it out, right? So first we have to make a motion, if this is prayer. We have to open up ourselves. So we're cutting out that ceiling, that wood in the ceiling. We just use it physically. And that's our effort toward Hashem. And then the light comes in, and that's from Hashem to us. So, yeah.
Thinking like interesting if maybe there's some similarity between the light that was in the Teva and the whole idea of like And the base of Mikdash is supposed to be kind of like it's tiny and then going out. And maybe there's a similarity. Like,
Could be.
it was like not that was like the first there's a shul by Koshiki, like not a real vibe. I don't just when you talk about it, just made that
Could be.
connection.
I mean, I don't know
know
physically what it was.
I didn't
Yeah.
deeply study, but I do know like when they talk about the like thing from the base of Mikdash, it's something like as if from the inside it's a small petach, and then it's extremely expansive when it goes out to the world.
Yeah.
So
That sounds good to me. Yeah.
maybe there was a
So we're basically, taking out the wood, making a space for Hashem to come in. And I'm going to also show you with some words how that works. So when we see things in a narrow way, so if I said, oh, I can't be from and do this theater thing, okay? That's seeing something in a narrow way. What's something else that you see in a narrow way? Anything? Well, you don't see possibility.
How can
Seems
this
narrow.
possibly happen? How can it possibly work out?
I mean, world situation, right? I mean, and forget narrow. We see it as troubles, right? Oh no, this is coming, or there's no way out, or this is going to happen again because we experienced it before, or there's so much anti-Semitism. I'm doing really global things here, but it doesn't have to be. It can be personal.
Visual art, so make a good painting.
Okay, right. So there's no possibility. I can't because I haven't before, right? Because I don't know anything else. So I'm seeing it in a narrow way. So we have the.
I possibly learn.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Anything. How can I possibly, right? How can we get through this Iran thing without hearing a siren? We're gonna no sirens, none. Everybody who sees this recording, none. Okay, and so you have the tzadi and the resh, and tsar means narrow, but sarot are troubles, literally. When we see things narrowly, we have trouble. We see trouble, or we worry, we get anxiety. Those are tsarot. Okay, but if you take the word tzadi and the letter tzadi and the letter resh, and you take everybody do this with me. Take your hands together. You got the tzadi and the resh. And now take a deep breath in through your nose. And when you let it out, breathe out like as if you're blowing your hands apart. Okay. So that's the breath, and that's the hay. That's Hashem. When you let the hay in between the tzadi and the resh from this narrow space, you've opened it up because you're trusting in Hashem. Hashem has opened this space. And from tsar, you get sohar. And that you are letting in the light, you're opening up, and you're letting in the light of Hashem, and you're also sharing your light out of that opening.
What does the letter come out? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's just we're deciding.
If you did it like, this was a tzadi, and this was a resh, or I have it backwards. Maybe for you, this is tzadi, this is a resh.
Physically come out like it looks like a resh.
No. I was just trying to separate it, like as if you had the two letters, and the hay comes between, letting Hashem in, or the breath. Breath is also trusting in Hashem, right? Let it out. I'm trusting Hashem. You can take a deep breath. And I was going to do like a visualization with that, but I just want to make sure we cover everything. So I can end with that if we have time for the visualizations, because we got a little bit of a hard start with my computer and all of that. So why don't we save that for later? But you get what I'm saying, right? Yes. That we can really open that up, the possibilities of in our lives. And, and today's going to be about that. It's about possibility. Okay. Take a breath. Also, let me say this. We're in Adar. Adar's a time of joy, and joy breaks down boundaries, right? So, and also nahafochu, things turn over. So what you expect and what you believe of yourself, what you're capable of, what you think your arts are and are not. If you think you can finish things or not finish things, if you think you have time or not time, all of that can change. It can open up. And what you're expecting now to the end will not be the same thing.
Mhm.
It's a process, and life's a process and a growth process. Okay. So we're going to talk about a couple of things that, and there were a couple of you who were in my class that I just came in for last time. So I'm going to be using some of those same tools. So excuse me for that. But it's good. They're good tools. So these are unblocking tools or opening up tools, and they're really good tools to start with. I'm going to start with something called morning pages. And they are spelled MORNING, although the creator of them has also called them morning, as if you're grieving. You can be doing that on the page. Julia Cameron wrote a book called The Artist's Way. I'm going to send you links to everything. Some of you may have the book at home. It's a great book. I'll be bringing in some exercises from there, but we're not doing, there are Artist's Way groups. I could lead one, but we're not doing that. We're doing something that's deeper, that's connected with Torah, but it's a great support group. It's a great support book. And the tools are wonderful, and you're going to be using these two basic tools, but especially morning pages. So what are morning pages? Morning pages are, and that's what I want you to have, the smaller book when you have, so that you're not writing, huge on 3 papers. But literally in the morning, if you can do it, you're going to write 3 pages in a journal of stream of consciousness writing. So whatever's in your head, Amy told me to write. I don't know what I'm supposed to write. What's that? No, it's too small. I was like, what is that? Is that your phone? I couldn't even see it. This is probably the smallest. This is a really good, can I show this size? This is a normal journal size. This is a good size. Yeah. This is a strange one just because it was light and I was traveling with it. Now I have things in it. But not a big notebook either. Okay. But today, if that's all the paper you have, we'll just write for a few minutes. So 3, and I'll send you a link where Julia Cameron talks about morning pages, so you'll have it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. You're just writing whatever comes to mind, and your pen is going across the paper. And what I say to my students, who are, again, 18, they're away from home for the first time. So they're writing, at first, my roommate's weird, the food's terrible, I miss my dog, I miss my mother. That's totally different than you, but they're starting to see themselves for the first time, and they're starting to hear their voice for the first time. And, for them, it's the first time, but maybe for some of us, we need to come back to ourselves and hear ourselves now. And especially with kids, we need it. And so to take, even if it's not morning, do it,
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us maybe have kids, but they're older, so maybe we can breathe a little, but maybe we don't know how to anymore. So taking this time to write for ourselves every morning, obviously not Shabbos, but the students go from hearing their mother's voice and their teacher's voice to finally hearing their own voice. And that's a huge shift. But this is for us too, and I find myself as a woman giving to my kids, to my grandkids, wanting to be there for my husband, doing the things I should do. But it helps me, as Julia Cameron says, why do we write morning pages? To get to the other side. It's like the chicken crossing the road. It really is just to be able to move forward. And when you do it day by day, you do advance. You do hear your voice. You do see the issues that are in your way. It's a little weird to face yourself that way, but also if you're writing and you get distracted, just say, oh, I'm distracted, write that down. You're never going to read these again. It's not about, what I keep an advice about is keeping a list nearby, because sometimes I end up writing lists in my morning pages, and that's okay, but it's hard to look back in them. So if it's a list like about your project or something else, you might want to keep something nearby to actually keep the list and then just go into the flow. So I found that writing morning pages, and I do work as a writer actually, and I do not see myself, I didn't talk about my arts at all. I just move forward, but that's okay. I can tell you about that later. I'm really a theater person, but I've become more of a playwright and a screenwriter, and words are not my first thing. So writing morning pages really gets me going and like really loosens me up.
I've done it in terms of as his go to do.
That's great.
So it's like I write it to Hashem, And then I read it back because my husband said, like, you know, it's important to his Buddhism is talking.
Right.
And I found that it was very profound in terms of the writing and writing to Hashem as you see things manifest. It was very powerful.
So I wonder if you play with it a little bit. I think it's probably more powerful what you're saying than what Julia Cameron says, because she's not doing his Bodhidut to Hashem. But it really is, like, the whole book is spiritual. Like, creativity is spirituality. We're living B'Tselem Elokim. You know this, like, inside out, right? Like, and we ran into a young man on the street that my husband met at Minyan here, and my husband was telling him about the seminary, and he said, I met with like a gadol, and I was like, why do we always expand and try to, you know, develop relationships with Hashem, but not with creativity? And he said, all these boys, all these guys need it.
You know what? The guys were looking at this,
Yeah,
and they said, this is for women only. I said, yes, but we will be later.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for men or for mixed
we'll-
crowd, or
we'll
if it's
do-
appropriate,
We'll
you
do
know,
for guys also.
Yeah.
Because they're very creative, of course.
I'm sure. Yeah, so of course, and they're actually don't get as much opportunity, and in certain ways, performing they get more, or much more. Singing, I don't know about dancing, but there's some who do. Okay, so we're going to right now. We're not going to get 3 pages in, but let's spend a few minutes. Is that somebody?
Outside, and I was outside.
Okay, all right. So if you have a journal, great. We're not going to end up doing 3 pages, but let's spend 5 minutes just to get the hang of it. Your morning pages could be anything in your head now. I mean, you can direct them, or you could say, what is this class about? What is she like? But you can start from the here and now and see where it takes you. And if you find yourself thinking, just move the pen. Literally move the pen. That's all. Don't look at me. Just move the pen. And I'll time this for 5 minutes, okay? Boy, for the recording, this is going to be really boring. But you at home, when you're watching the recording, write for 5 minutes. If you have a question about it while you're doing it, you're welcome to ask me, because I am sitting here. And let your pen keep up with your thoughts. See if you can do that. You never have to read this again. It doesn't have to be clear. It could be total scribble. Just, it's about getting it out. It's called brain drain. Drain your brain onto the paper. That's what we're doing. We're unblocking. We're letting it out. Letting the faucet drain. Could be about your project. Could be about your life. Could be about sitting here. Anything. There's any way you've been holding yourself back, you can address that. You know, the I can'ts or seeing things narrowly. You can address those in any way that comes to you. If you're on something else, ignore me. Yeah, don't bother reading it. Just keep going. Just keep going. another few seconds. Just finish to the bottom of your page, or unless you're at the top of your page. Okay. Take a deep breath. So morning pages will be a lot longer than this. You'll have 3 pages in your journal. It takes 15 minutes at least, usually. So, okay. So how, I mean, I know I'm cutting you short, but how was just the 1 page? Any thoughts? I mean, it's only 1 page. It's not that much, but yeah.
It's an opening.
Good. That's what it's supposed to be. Great. An opening. I can't, and with 3 pages, it's more. And doing it every day, it's more. Although it's a chore. It's like adding a voda, you know, to your schedule.
But where am I supposed to get the 15 minutes?
Wherever it is. Wherever it is in between things, or if you have to do it in the evening, if you could do it in the morning, it's great, because and on our girls' schedule in school, they have it. And of course, like they have all the time in the world, you'd think they would do it, but it's in their schedule, morning pages and davening. So they have it with their davening. I'm wondering if you would try it differently with, as wonderful as your Hespodidus is, if you would maybe simplify it and see if it does something different. I'm going to send you the video. I'm going to
simplify it.
Because it's so deep what you're doing that I'm wondering. I don't want to focus on it, but I think we'll talk about it because I want to hear about Hespodidus too. But morning page is just a drain, which I think Hespodidus is much more. And I'm just wondering if we should just use it as a drain.
Also.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll send you the video. We'll see. Anybody have any comments on just the 1 page?
For me, it's a good opportunity because I carry things in my head like, oh, that's a good thing to write an article about. Or like people can say a certain sentence and I'll be like, I have to write that sentence down so I remember. So
Okay.
now is an opportunity, even though I'm in my mind went.
Okay.
So the question is it supposed to be used just to, like, does that work? Or is it not supposed to be used for that?
For what? For what? What does what work?
I want to share. Like I have this thing where I always want to be writing and I don't give myself that opportunity. And like let's say there's an abraka.
Well, this is going to give you that opportunity when you do it every day, except for Shabbos. So that's part of the course. So this is
I'm saying this
task 1.
Is there a meant to be in the yeah.
Yes, it's a brain drain. It's a unblocking.
Is it best to do that in the morning?
It is because it.
Wake up before davening. But
You can do it after
It could be-
davening.
it could happen to do with a dream that we have. So it has to do that.
It's supposed to be in the morning. If you can't, you can't. I mean, I don't know. Baby may be waking you up. Yeah. So, but if you can, you know, you can have it with your morning coffee. You know, you can daven first, but you can also try. So this is interesting with Hespodidus. You can try davening first and then morning pages, and then the next day you can try the other, and you see what it does for you. It's all about using for you. It's not. I'm going to send you her talking about it, and I'll also send you a link to the book so you can read about it more. A lot of people have copies. You probably never need to buy it. Probably your friend has a copy of The Artist's Way. Judy has it right here. No, I thought you were getting the book. I thought you were getting it. Okay.
I just want to say that I have spent so much time on the bus and waiting for the bus. That would be a good time to do it. Or
Yeah.
do you think it's better to do it in the house?
Yeah, if you're interrupted, wherever you can do it.
I can do it on the
If you
bus.
can do it at home, great, but do it where you can do it. It's just about draining. We're going to do another emotional and physical unblocking exercise. I sent you all in the WhatsApp tomorrow. I don't think you're part of the WhatsApp yet. So I'm going to pass you this so you have the actual chart, but everybody else has it on their WhatsApp chat. I'll give you my phone.
I'll share with you.
Okay.
And I have my phone, but I didn't see it.
It's all right.
When did you send it?
I sent it before the class, but it's okay. I can give you mine, whoever doesn't.
It's not fun.
Okay. So you're not in the group.
But if it's going to be my laptop here, I like.
Okay. So, here's,
What should it, like, what should
do
I
you have
now?
it? Now take mine
Okay, you can
I
see
do.
the
or
rest.
take mine.
No, you should.
Yeah. Yeah. You've seen it before. So really all you're doing from this list. Okay. What I'd like you to do is choose an emotion. These are negative emotions. I use it for emotion code. Something I do to release negative trapped emotions. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about releasing the negative, the things that limit us, the things that keep us from possibility, from joy, from opening, all of those things. And I'd like you to choose one thing from the list that you've been feeling in your life lately, or that you feel about, going into this class and your creative self, how you treat yourself, or something that's just pick one emotion that you're dealing with right now. And what? No, it doesn't matter. That's for emotion code. Just choose an emotion that here. And I'm passing around these corks. So I gave you one, Judy. So I gave you one here. That's okay. You don't need anything once you pick the emotion. You don't need the list anymore. Okay. You did take a cork and pass it on. Just corks. So this is unblocking exercise number 2. And there are other ways of unblocking, but these are the 2.
So any emotion from A or B?
Yeah, anything that you feel connected to, that you feel is going on for you and maybe in your way. If you're worrying about your kid, that could be a good one. We all are. If you're worrying about it, worry is always a good one. Resentment's a good one. Low self-esteem can be, about she has, I gave. Okay. So you don't need to write anything now. This is a totally different effort. When I work with people with emotion code, they don't usually have corks on hand. We usually use pens, but there's something I like about corks. They're kind of squishy and kind of not at the same time, and they're a good size. So this is a very physical exercise, sitting. So you pick one, just choose one, and then
I don't know.
anything that you've been feeling lately that you feel is in your way a little bit and you'd like to let go. So I mean, something like grief that's of something that's important may not be a quick one. So something like a resentment or a bitterness or a anxiety or self-abuse. Sometimes we're beating ourselves up, low self-esteem, a conflict, anything. Just pick one, doesn't matter. And you know what it's about. And we're going to explore a little bit. Okay, so you can put this list away. Everybody have one?
Yes.
Okay, great. So put the list away as soon as you have it. I want you to hold the cork in your hand and close your eyes for a moment, okay? Actually, close your eyes throughout this. Okay. You have one yet, Judy?
Let's pretend.
Let's pretend. You could be worried about something. I don't know. Judy's not worried. I think Judy has so much Amuna. Okay. A lump in your throat. So, okay. All right. So whatever your worry is, I said, whatever your negative emotion is, okay. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to squeeze this cork in your hand really tightly. So tightly, it's almost like a part of your body. It's an extension of your hand. And I'd like you to think about that emotion, that negative emotion that is in your life and probably in your way in some way, keeping you stuck or keeping you preoccupied, depending what it is. And I'd like you to think about that emotion. And I'd like you to think about kind of what is causing that emotion, which people it involves, the situations. And maybe there's several things. If you have anxiety in general, it could be about several things. So see those people and those situations and those things that you're worried about, and also allow yourself the feeling, if it's anxiety or panic or worry, or if it's a sadness or a grief, allow yourself the feelings and the pictures and the thoughts. And as you are picturing or thinking or feeling, imagine that those things can flow through your body into your arm. And if you have to make it a color, but picture them flowing through your body into your arm, into your hand, and into the cork. And find the pieces of that negative emotion. Find all the pieces one at a time. If it's you know, an emotion of worry and you have several children to worry about, okay, focus on each one and let the emotion and the thoughts into your body, into your arm, and we're flowing it into your hand, into the cork. So letting all that worry or all that anxiety or all that grief or all that resentment, whatever it is, pool into the cork, which is an extension of your body right now. It's all going there. And think and feel those last thoughts, feelings. And again, if you have a hard time doing this, literally picture a color coming from your head and your heart, going into your arm and into the cork. Okay. When you've got a whole bunch of that in the cork, we're going to take this cork and with some strength, we're going to put it down on the table hard. Put it down. Okay, whatever that anxiety is, it's in the cork and it's on the table. Now, if all of you are ready to do this, I'd like you to stand up. And we're actually not going to go anywhere, but as if we're going somewhere, as if we're going to go to the door and we're going to leave, turn back and see the cork on the table. Okay, so I actually have clients going to the door. But look back and see your cork of grief, your cork of jealousy, whatever it is, your cork of worry. It's there, in there. And if I were to leave the room now, can I leave my worry in the cork on the table? Can I let it sit there? And can I be more effective in my life right now? Can I go talk to my kid in a better way rather than the worried way? Whatever it is. So I think there's some yes in that.
Yes,
You all
yes,
get a
yes,
sense
yes.
of that? And that's step one. Step one. Okay, good. So realize you can do this at any time. If you want to keep the cork, you can keep the cork. Maybe you can decorate your cork. I don't know. But we're going to do step two now. And sometimes step two isn't doable, like something like grief, if we're not ready to really let go of grief. This is us really kind of handing over the negative emotion this time. So it's the same process, but there's a little difference at the end. Okay, you ready? We're going to do the same emotion again, all right? Same emotion, same stuff. So imagining again, whatever that emotion is, whatever the thoughts and the feelings are about that emotion, letting it come into your head, into your heart, into your body. Again, if you need a color to kind of direct you, that's fine. Or if you just get kinesthetic flow, that's fine. Flowing it through your body, into your arm, into your hand, and into the cork. Putting all that worry or the resentment or whatever it is, the low self-esteem, whatever it is, the thoughts and the feelings around this emotion. And letting it pool into the cork. Okay. So another second, collect it all. And this time, instead of slamming it on the table, we're going to imagine something else. I'd like you to take your cork and imagine that there are two hands open together, reaching out under the cork to take the cork from you. So I'd like you to place the cork into these hands. Now these are Hashem's hands. And he's going to curl his fingers around the cork. Now, of course, you're going to let it go down to the table because you really are going to let it go. But we're not slamming it down. But we're picturing that those hands and those fingers are taking the cork. And Hashem is saying to you, thank you. Why is Hashem saying thank you? As he takes that emotion, that cork of emotion from you. What do you think?
Because you've trusted him with your baggage.
Yeah, you don't need to hold it. And in that way, when you hand it over to him and he says, I've got it for you, right? Then you're letting him in. So basically, just like the Tzohar, that Tsar, we've just had a Tsar here, right? A worry, a concern, a narrowness. and we just let Hashem in, or we've given this to Hashem, and we've let that breath in, and we can breathe now. And we can trust in Hashem, and he's saying, thank you. That's what you're meant to do. I'm meant to hold you up. I'm meant to be a hay between the tzadi and the resh. I'm meant to be part of your tzohar. And as it's tzohar, you're a vessel of me. And you can only be a vessel of me if you're open and you're letting go of these guards. You know, one of them is called defensiveness, but they're all a wall of some kind, right? So when we're able to hand it over, Hashem says, thank you, because we've let him in. And we don't need to be trapped, and we can be in flow. And we can be open. And of course, you know, we have to work on this emotion through emotion. It's not just one. So we have two ways of dealing with feeling blocked and stuck. And of course, you know, these things are a process in life. And we'll talk more next week about, we're not done, but we're going till 9:30, so we've got time. Next week, we're going to talk more about the creative process and the growth process being the same thing, really. And we're going to talk exactly about how that works. But today we're still on possibility. Okay. So now we've just opened up. And again, you have these tools. You can take the cork home and you're going to have your journal and you're going to write Bezrat Hashem. You'll use it because you only have this. It's not 6 weeks, guys. It's a lot longer, right? How many weeks is it from beginning to end till May 6th? But you see, you have this growth process of a lot longer without having to be here, and you get to take it home with you. So you have the time to write in your journal. You're going to make the time to write in your journal. Okay, so now we're going to move to the positives, okay? And we're going to have to do this more quickly. I'm going to go to the artist date again. The second tool that she gives. One is brain drain, draining it out on the page. That's the morning pages. But the other one is filling your well. It's exactly the opposite. It's like, you know, I hate to compare this, but like going to the bathroom as opposed to filling your well with like water or eating, right? So what is an artist date? An artist date is date. You're taking yourself on a date, just you and yourself. No one else is coming, just you. And you're going somewhere new or doing something new by yourself. That could mean taking a walk somewhere new and exploring. That could mean stopping in shops and exploring and looking. It could mean going to a museum by yourself. It could mean, you know, trying something new, but you're by yourself experiencing it and letting yourself absorb it. So that's the artist date. I'll try to see if there's a video on that as well. I'll send that to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's a once a week thing.
Once a week.
Once a week, if you can do it. Look, there are a lot of holidays coming up. Do it when you can. I think the morning pages is more essential if you can get that in every day. This is a more once in a while. So with holidays, it's harder to get away from family. You know what? You might need it. Take a walk by yourself. I need it. Right? So
How long over time? Same like the day.
Yeah, actually, I did that last week.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, an hour's super, but it varies. Who has time, you know, what you have time for and what you're doing. And, I mean, I'm on one long artist date being here for 4 months. This is all an artist date. I mean, except I talk to people in between. Okay. So that's a possibility. How's that possibility? The world opens up if you do something new, right? You're like, oh, this museum exists. I can do this. Or maybe I really like ice skating. I don't know. We'll come up with some. Actually, let's do a cute exercise from the Artist's Way. That's around this. I'd like you to write down, it's just a list, okay? A list of 5 lives that you would enjoy living, like whether that be career or whatever, that seem bizarre. But there's something about it that you would enjoy. So it doesn't have to be realistic. Like, I want to be a cowgirl. Or I want to be an astronaut. It could be those things because there's something in it that excites me. And we'll explore them after you write it. So write a list of 5 lives that would be fun to live. Does not have to be realistic in any way. It can be, though, if you want. Just don't be boring. Come on, have fun. You got 5 or close to it? All right, let's everybody just share one. Just one. And it could be a bizarre one. That's fine. You have one, Karen?
A chanting leader.
A chanting leader. And what is it in that that appeals to you?
I'm using my voice. I'm getting a response. I'm being heard.
Cool. Great. Okay. Someone else?
Put underwater diving instructor.
Very nice. And is that something you ever have done something like?
I've done a little bit of snorkeling, but I'd love to be brave enough to go with the sharks and octopi.
Very cool. Very adventurous of you, right? What do you have?
Yeah, mine's supposed to, I'm a dolphin trainer.
Oh, wow. But that's different. That's got like another feeling. It's got like a yummy kind of relationship to it, right? A dolphin trainer. What do you have, Rifki?
Very similar. I would like to work with animals in the zoo.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Animals in the zoo. You have one?
Well, my first one was a speaker, but my more unrealistic one was a professional hugger. I actually looked into it in college. But
Wow.
you have to
There's
go
such a
through this
thing?
expensive training process. Yeah.
Wow.
Also to volunteer as like a baby
Holder.
snuggler. Yeah, it's a huge investment to be able to do it.
So interesting. So interesting. Hannah,
Yeah,
do you have one?
training process is really fun.
Hannah, do you have one?
Jewelry maker.
Jewelry maker.
That's very like unrealistic for me because I actually get bored after like an hour. So like to spend lifetime on it, but like the certain things that appeal to me on
But it does appeal to you.
Yes.
Wow. That's very interesting. What about you, Tamar?
It's amazing doing it for like 8 hours a day would be.
Tamara, you? What about you, Tamara? What- Nice. So it's nice to have a list.
Yeah.
I wrote farmer on the top and just was on volunteering, with my students, and we were out doing agriculture, but I really like animals a lot. So that came up for me as well, interestingly. So the real adventure of it after writing it is finding one of those things that you wrote and finding some aspect of it. So if you said cowboy or rancher, maybe I could start doing horseback riding. Maybe there's a piece of that I need in my life. Maybe I need to be working with the earth or whatever it is. So did you have one that you wanted to share?
They're also adventurous.
They're artistic, aren't they? I'm seeing them. A lot of mine are artistic too. But
Yeah.
you want to share one?
I'd love to be a potter
Mhm.
again.
Again, see? So maybe that is, maybe that is what you should do.
When I retire, right?
Well, or maybe that should be included as one of your classes in your home so you get to
Yeah.
do it without wheels, but you did it on a wheel.
We've done that a little bit.
What? Do more then, Judy. That sounds great. Okay. So that's a positive exercise, right? Finding things that we may not even really imagine and using that to bring newness into our lives, more possibility. Again, possibility, the artist state, thinking, making a list like that. And there's another exercise, and we'll play with this more. We don't really have time today, but if I say, okay, I'm going to write a play, and I say, no, but I can't write a play because nobody will do it. So I'm saying no, but, right? And to replace the no, but, I want to replace yes, and. So making this possible. I'm going to write a play, and I'm not going to say yes. If you work with other people, you say yes, and I'm going to have it produced in the next 10 years. And it's going to be successful and with really professional, wonderful actors, and people are going to come away moved and their lives will be changed by it. Okay, that's very lofty, but okay. But I've created something with a positive possibility. It's sort of manifesting it, right? And we're putting it out there with yes and, rather than saying, I can't do this. So like I said to myself, I need to do theater and I can't be from and I can't do them together. And so I made my path more narrow, as opposed to later where I was able to. And literally it was like a catharsis with starting the seminary, because I was like, women are not performing, you can't, and I needed to break out of the can't and do the yes and yes, and put Chassidus with arts together. Yes, and who can do that full time? Young women. Yes, and young women. Teaching young women for 15 years makes me want to do this with other women, older women. Yes, and okay. So, yeah. You're, instead of saying, when you're, it's just a talking exercise, but instead of saying, I want to act, but no, but I can't because you have to act on Shabbos. So just with that, well, okay, yeah, me too. So, but you don't have to do what I did, right? You can think differently. I mean, Baruch Hashem, we all have our path, and I'm able to bring back the sparks of whatever that is, right? But you don't have to take that path. You can say, yes, and Shabbos is important to me. So, yes, and who needs my acting skills? You don't have to think that there's only one model for acting. That's how we tend to think. I'm a singer. I have to sing on Broadway because that's the vessel. No, we have to create the vessels. Not we have to be the vessels. We also have to create the vessels. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's why I created a seminary. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I have a friend who wanted to be an actress, but then she had 14 children. And she said, that's what I was. I was the actress in my home.
Absolutely.
And that's what she did. She became the actress as a mother in her home.
I'm sure. And we all use our gifts. Yeah. Yeah.
My husband became a teacher because of that.
Yeah.
He wanted to be
An actor. Yeah.
But then he found out that he can't be Shlomo Shabbos and be an actor. So he became a teacher.
But well, and you could, but his path was to do it that way. Yes, you could if you created a different venue for it, right?
That's not going to be on your list.
Okay, so this is the most important part of the class now for the next 15 minutes, okay? So I need you to write in your notebook. I need you to make 3 columns. Okay. And this is something we're going to work on with the whole time. Obviously, I gave you tools, but these are your lists now. So 3 columns. And at the top of those 3 columns, you're going to write personal or identity, whatever you want to do. You can write personal. That's the headline of the first column. Second column, and you get to name this how you want. Chassidut, Chassidus, Torah is the name of that column.
Second one is Torah or
Torah, Chassidus, yeah. And the third column is arts. So we're going to do a little brief exercise now. Now, you may not have things ready for this list, okay? That's part of your morning pages. The other thing that you're going to do aside, morning pages will definitely give you things for your personal list, things I'm working on, things, etc. You'll definitely, first of all, you may know them already, but in writing them every day, you're going to have more and more things to put down there. The Torah and Chassidus, you may have things already that you've said, wow, this is a life-changing concept. For me, when I learned about Tzimtzum, that changed the whole entire universe for me. About the concept of Tzimtzum, and the creation of the world. Like, it's not just an old man over me, but like the whole thing is totally different. That changed my view of everything. So that's for me, but that doesn't mean I want to do my project on it. But you might want to write down things that are life-changing for you. Things that you already have. Now, do you have to do things you already know? No. You can also, this is also homework. You can also read or watch videos. Again, in the seminary, they have the classes of Chassidus. They have to use what they've gotten there. They also have all the arts classes right there, and they're learning the skills. That's not what we have here. But you're also adult women. You're coming with your history and your own brains and your own hearts. So look, if we're coming from Adar, we're going into, we'll be in this process going through Pesach. So we are going through Geula time. You don't have to know now. This is not about knowing. This is about writing a list and adding to the list. So again, you may have something to put on there now, but it's not going to be a completed list. And then the third list, I'll come back to it. The third list is going to be any arts that you can, at this point, imagine. I don't know what that is. Any alerts, I just got to write. Any arts, that you can imagine yourself doing. So, if it's just photography now, maybe it would open up to something else, but write anything. I mean, even if you never made a video before, you can write video. Some people have longer lists initially than others. So what you're doing, so do these lists now.
What's the first one?
The first column is personal, things that you're working on in your personal life, or things that ways you'd like to grow. The project at the seminary is called, or the presentation is called Chassidus, Art and Identity. That's what we name it every year. We're not going to do that here. We're going to be out of that box. But those are the three columns, so to speak, of the Torah and Chassidus that's important to you. All of the arts that you feel you can express yourself through, and whatever personal journey you're on. And again, that's going to change also. Yeah, so if you're into Chabad Chassidut, go online to chabad.org or open a sefer or learn with somebody. If you know that you're into Karl Bach, then do it that way, find the sefer or the class. I mean, just learn about it, read about it.
So this is what we want to do, not what we
right now,
doing.
you don't have to write anything if you don't have anything to write. I might write, I like the concept of Simchat. This is in order to make your project, okay? But right now you don't have to decide anything for the project. You're just making lists of things that appeal to you. Especially in the Chassidus part. What kind of Torah appeals to me? Like, I love reading Sarah Yudit's books, Sarah Yudit Schneider's books. I can't learn Kabbalah like that. But when I read her books, I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole world opens for me. The whole world opens. I have chills even talking about it now, right? Every time she writes and I get, the world's totally different when I read it. So what moves you? And it might not be something that big that you want to deal with. Maybe it's, talking about Geula is a concept right there. I mean, but class is called that. You can use that. But what does that mean? And, where do you want to search for it? So does it have to be something new? No, it could be something that you have in you already. You might want to explore it more. Again.
I have a question. What do you mean? We're going to do a project at the end? I mean,
Oh, that's his class.
this class is about doing a project.
So it's about, yeah. So
I
we're
didn't know
creating Geula. So we're going to choose ultimately an art form or forms together that we're going to express our personal connection to this concept in Torah, but express it through an art form. So once not only you've learned it and maybe applying it in life, and you're creating something from it, you're being that Sohar, you're shining your light out and you're bringing it out into the world and you're sharing some of you and you're being a prism for that Torah that nobody else can be. So don't worry about how yet. Just start with the lists. So take a few minutes and look at those lists, and they may not be long yet. That's okay. Just start with it. Especially the arts list right now, right? What you can even imagine yourself doing, and realize that there's always more possibility. I'll give you an example as you write those lists. So you might say visual art. That could be a million things, right? That could end up being video. It could be photography. It could be a stop motion. And I've had students do tons of stop motion, some with painting, some with clay, some with all kinds of things have been created, right? You know, with words, what does that mean? I could write a play, I could write a monologue, I could write a poem, I can write I don't know. Do two things go together? I mean, our girls are learning filmmaking, but there are tools these days. You're doing photography, maybe you're going to end up making a film instead. You know, maybe you want to tell, maybe stop motion with photography. You never know, right? So just start the list and that will expand. Again, we're talking about possibility right now. Okay. So write something on each list if you have it. If you could write more, write more. And again, you're going to keep coming back to these lists as you have ideas. And you might be, you know, scrolling more on Chabad.org or whatever sites you like to learn Torah with. If you're learning a class here, you can use what you're learning here. Right? That would make sense too. If you're in a class, you know, learning Tanya or learning this or learning that, you could use that. So only those that like we're utilizing for our creative process, like the Zohar, you know, but I think we're going to end up sharing them as we're developing our projects.
So it's more like keeping up stuff at home, like
Yeah, so I can't provide you with a whole seminary where you're getting, but Shevach does. If you can show up for other classes, you can come get your Torah classes here, and there are classes online.
They're all online, except the dance.
Right. But the Torah classes,
The Torah classes.
yeah, are online. So, you know, find your topic, find your Derek, start reading. You know, you're going to look at things in another way. And I'll tell you, this has to do with the kind of learner that you are. So she's nodding. I mean, in classrooms, and we start seminary with this in the beginning of the year. What kind of learner are you? So the learners that do well in a school setting are the what learners, the ones that can take in information and spit it back, right? Those are the ones that are successful in the regular school tests and that kind of thing. And they make teachers happy because you get through the content. The ones who ask, how does this work all the time, drive everybody crazy. The ones who ask why, some teachers have patience for, why does this have to be? But they could really also drive a teacher crazy. But people need to know why before they can go on. And then there are, and this is me, there are the students that are what if. So they take in the info, a lot of creative people are, but I've found that creative people are all these things, and we're some of each of these. We can learn a little bit of the information, and this is what I'm starting you with. What if there's Simchat, you know, the world is created in this way? If that's so, what if I took this, then what then? You know, how do I apply it? How do I create something? So like I would remember learning American history in class and being like, why do I care? But if I could have taken it and written a screenplay about that time in history with a character, I would have known everything about that time in history because I want to create. That's my way of learning. So it's not everybody's completely, but that's pretty much the process that we're doing here. We're taking a piece of Torah, Chassidus, that means something to us, and we're saying, what can I make from this, or how can I express it? And what part of me is connecting to this? So which one leads? That's a question. Okay. And we're going to keep going back to these lists. Which one leads? It's really like a challah. It keeps getting braided. It's not direct. One thing might lead and then the other comes over, So sometimes it's the Chassidus that leads. Sometimes it's the personal quest that leads. Sometimes it's the art form. Oh, I really want to do this painting. And so that will lead what kind of Torah I'm learning. But they all, there's no straight path, basically. It's going to be a very dreamlike path. And with that word dream, take time to dream. So if you are washing your dishes, dreamer, I love it. If you're washing your dishes or sweeping your floor, it's a perfect time to let your mind go. If you're going for a walk, perfect time to let your mind just go and imagine and dream. What could this project be? What could the world be? What could I do? And dare to imagine, right? Dare to imagine. So are there any questions in terms of going forward or anything? Yeah.
I have a lot of trouble like motivating myself to be like, or being disciplined. So like, how do I keep like how am I gonna go? I mean, I have 5 books I took out since the retreat. I was like, I'm gonna do this.
This is a more dreamlike process than you think. So obviously you're with kids, but you're also doing a lot of manual stuff with kids. Your head can go into
right, but I mean like the actual learning part.
Well, morning pages is probably the only thing that's like, to get out the learning wherever you could fit it in, and whatever you want to seek, that's up to you. Is it on Shabbos, once the kids are sleeping? It could be one concept, and then you're going to be weaving it in with your personal and morning paging about it. So if you start to learn something, morning page about it. Use the morning pages as a place to land, but put your dreams, put your ideas, and then you have your list where you can just dot it down there.
And then morning pages be online, or that to be written out.
It has to be from your hand. Like the cork was like being put down. This is also from your body, getting it out onto the page. Yeah. Sure.
You want to change the meaning of the personality by writing. There was a study done that said that people that were studying a profession, and they did a study to see who did better on the test. Those that did hand notes, but maybe they didn't get as much in because they were longer, and those that put on the computer, and the people that did hand notes did like 20-30% better in there.
Yeah, it's really a body. It's really a mind-body tool.
It
Yeah.
actually expressed like the chemical or something.
Great.
Goes out that, when we're
Yeah. So remember to do 3 pages. If you can do 3 pages a day, you'll do your best, the best way you can. But I think a lot of other people can create that pocket of time, and you'll find where it's most helpful for you. If it's not in the morning, where can I take a breath and it be for me?
It would be after I drop them off at
Oh,
school.
there you go.
But
But then
right when they get home, like I don't want to send there.
but it's a perfect way to drain your brain and then see if it takes you somewhere else. Any other questions? I know you have to go right now. It'll just be questions, so you go. Hannah's gonna just not be able to be here every week because she works right after, so she'll be online, and hopefully I'll have this mastered by then. But it's great to be in person with you. Anybody else have questions? Again, don't worry. You don't have to have an answer to your project by next time. You have to have ideas and dreams and thoughts. We have 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks of dream. No, but it's not to have a project. That's at the end. You don't worry, really.
This is how I was in school.
It's not school though, it's a creative process. Seriously, breathe and write your pages and learn Torah just like you do and see what comes in and see what ideas you have. It's about let yourself dream at night about it. Let yourself whatever. It's all if you have questions, you're on here with me tomorrow. Actually, I need to get your number on here.
Turn it off for you.
Oh yes, thank you. Okay, great. Let's stop the recording. But can you help me get the rest?
Oh,
So let me see.
It's
I have to do something. I think I have to do
Somebody tried to get in.
YouTube. I have to do something.
Yeah,
I'm not. I think I have to do
yeah,
something.
you-
It's not just getting out of this. I
Yeah.
have to do something with
Yeah.
YouTube.
Hold on, stop recording.
Wait, I have a video. Sorry,
You want
Yeah,
to stop
video.
recording?
I did stop recording.
No, you paused it.
That's
Oh.
amazing.
Okay, so hold on. So maybe not.
Do you want
Hold on. Let me find Chaya.
Tomorrow.
Okay, here's a video. Can I give it to you so I can like
Just
embed?
started.
There's one to get on.
Judy.
Both friends are like getting on it. Thank you.
It's recording.
Is anyone, if you have any questions or like stress about it during the program, you can text me. Yeah. Everybody feel free to text me. It's a process.
I'll say that
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
uh,
That's the older one. Oh. they're
Just check that you got it right, YouTube.
Not anymore. Yeah.
If it says YouTube here, you're good. This recording.
Oh.
The Zoom is the Zoom one. Once we're on YouTube, then it's
Yes.
What about if I started? I really do. Yeah.
I'm saying what I like.
So you'll see what comes in, but ask questions. You know, I can't wait to see your photography.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay. Say that I finished.
Just-
Finish your class. And meeting profile. Okay. And then the screen behind it is probably gonna be your video, which